Marriage is what brings us together today. Marriage, that blessed arrangement, that dream within a dream, and love, true love, will follow you forever. So treasure your love. My name is Shauna Swears, and I have been given the honor to be up here today. For months, I have been telling any person who will listen how excited I am to be marrying my cousin. I don't know why they look confused when I say that, though. Brenna and I go way back. She was the worst cousin ever. Brenna would constantly find ways to scare my innocent, gullible mind. Seriously, a witch lived in her bedroom closet, and I had a werewolf roaming around outside my playhouse if I was in there after dusk. How much more scarier can get? Brenna may have scared the piss out of me every time I saw her, but she really wasn't all that bad. I loved watching movies with her and snuggling up close to her for trips to see our grandparents in Ohio. Madison and her would even let me borrow clothes and do my hair and makeup when we got older. When I was around them, they were like big sisters I never had. As we became young adults, I got to see Brenna grow into a beautiful and loving mother with Ocean. Her world changed forever, but Brenna's sense of humor, adventurous spirit, and passion for whatever she put her mind to continued. And then little Aura came along, a precious, sweet, snuggly baby. Brenna was tested many times with juggling a toddler and an infant, but she kept moving forward, creating a loving and secure space for her children. Just as time does, it went on, and so did she. Unbeknownst to her, someone would come into her life at her place of work. To Brenna, Danny was just another new coworker at the bar. He wasn't much to pay attention to. One night, Danny had a little too much pizza. And Brenna, being the good person she is, she tried to give him a ride home. But Danny didn't even know where that was. So he ended up at Brenna's. They talked into the night and learned that they had a lot more in common than a workspace. I met Danny when Brenna's sister was expecting her first child. I drove our grandmother and my mother down for the shower. Brenna was working when I arrived at her house that night, and I was able to sit down and talk with this man. I had heard little of Danny, but nevertheless, it was all good. I talked his ear off, I'm sure. We even talked about politics. Danny and I navigated a fairly touchy subject with an election right around the corner, but he never once made me feel small for my opinions and helped me see the other side as well. I left that weekend with much respect for him. As Brenna joked with me, he was the bitch from day one. To me, he was someone who was beyond his own ego and was confident in their relationship. As years went by, I learned that Danny loved babies. It's true. He is already a great uncle and an even more awesome sauce dad to Ocean and Aura. Brenna and Danny balance and complement each other. Brenna's dark humor and sharp style pair beautifully with his quiet reserve and gentlemanly charm. I'd like to share a quote from Fred Rogers, one that I keep circling back to when I think of the love I see in these two every time I visit. Mr. Rogers said, "When we love a person, we accept him or her exactly as is. We accept the lovely with the unlovely, the strong with the fearful, the true mixed in with the facade, and of course, the only way we can do it is by accepting ourselves that way. You two have accepted yourselves and each other. You have recognized the deep connection within. It's a beautiful dream and achievement not many have gone through, but here you both are. You've chosen to grow, love, and live together already for over 6 years, so don't F it up now. May you always shine like the sun for one another and find comfort in knowing you sleep under the same moon. At this time, we will begin the exchanging of the rings. If anyone here wishes to eject in their union, please see Tim Sarago.
Anybody?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to contend with that beast of a man either. So let's begin so we can really start this celebration. Danny, do you have the wing? So I guess that sign was true, huh? Has anybody seen the wings? Uh-oh.
You gave him the. They're both.
Danny, repeat after me. In your eyes, I have found my home. In your heart, I have found my love. In your soul, I have found my mate. With this ring, I give you an unending circle to remind you that my love will never cease. Place the ring. Brenna, do you take this man to be your husband?
I do.
Brenna, do you have the wing?
I do.
All right. Now repeat after me. In your eyes, I have found my home.
In your eyes, I have found my home.
In your heart, I have found my love.
In your heart, I have found my love.
In your soul, I have found my mate.
In your soul, I have found my mate.
With this ring, I give you an unending circle
With this ring, I give you an unending circle
to remind you that my love will never cease.
to remind you that my love will never cease.
Place the ring in his finger. Danny, do you take this woman to be your wife? By the power invested in me by the Universal Life Church and the great state of Florida, I now pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Lee. You may kiss the bride. Since the invention of the kiss, there have been only 5 kisses that were rated the most passionate, the most pure. This one left that all behind. Oh, yeah.